The president will be here for an extended holiday weekend at his golf property in New Jersey. Last night out west, peppering his speech with some salty language and plenty of insults, attacking a Democratic senator, appearing to mock the Me Too movement, also mocking a former Republican president, but ignoring the departure of a cabinet favorite.
Thank you, Montana. Thank you.
President Trump taking another big swipe at a familiar target, offering a mock mea culpa for Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren, a possible 2020 opponent.
I want to apologize. I'll use tonight. Pocahontas.
The president challenging Warren to take a DNA test to prove she has a Native American heritage.
I will give you $1 million to your favorite charity, paid for by Trump, if you take the test and it shows you're an Indian.
His attack on Warren also making light of the Me Too movement.
We will take that little kit and say, but we have to do it gently. Because we're in the Me Too generation, so we have to be very gentle.
Responding overnight, Warren slamming the president and his zero-tolerance policy at the border, tweeting, "While you obsess over my genes, your administration is conducting DNA tests on little kids because you ripped them from their mamas, and you are too incompetent to reunite them." The president also criticizing former President George H.W. Bush's 1,000 points of light rhetoric about service through volunteering.
1,000 points of light. What the hell was that, by the way? Make America great again, we understand. Putting America first, we understand. 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. I'm trying to say, what the hell is that? Has anyone ever figured that one out? And it was put out by a Republican, wasn't it?
To which author and Bush biographer John Meacham tweeted, "Well, Mr. President, since you ask, it was an image of a nation illuminated by our better angels, offered by a man who gave his life to the service of that nation." Mr. Trump notably silent about Scott Pruitt, his scandal-plagued EPA administrator resigning effective today amid a flood of federal ethics inquiries.
This is my son.
Just days after a school teacher confronted Pruitt in a D.C. restaurant.
I would urge you to resign before your scandals push you out.
Those scandals include allegations of excessive spending, including $3.5 million on unprecedented 24/7 security, retaliation against EPA employees who questioned his spending, and cozy relationships with lobbyists for industries he was tasked to regulate. In his resignation letter, Pruitt effusively praising the president. "I believe you are serving as president today because of God's providence." For months, Mr. Trump defended Pruitt, touting his aggressive rollback of Obama-era environmental regulations, ultimately accepting the resignation because the president says Pruitt didn't want to be a distraction. Top Democrat Chuck Schumer tweeting, "Took you long enough, still a very long way to go to fully drain the swamp."
And in addition to all of that, Peter, we woke up this morning in the U.S. and China in the middle of a billion-dollar trade war.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Overnight, Hoda, just as you say, the U.S. imposing $34 billion in new tariffs on China. China retaliating in kind, $34 billion in tariffs on its own, largely going to impact U.S. agriculture communities, American automobiles as well. China accusing the U.S. of launching the largest trade war in history. And the president says he's not done, threatening hundreds of billions of dollars in additional tariffs potentially going forward. Back to you, Hoda.
All right, Peter Alexander. Peter, thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.